Hey guys, Lancer here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for joining me and looking at some more MTG Magic and see what's been happening with the revised reserve list cards and just see if there's any common, I don't know, patterns that we're seeing. I think there's some very simple ones. Firstly, markets aren't doing too well. Now, I made another one saying that Jerome Powell's speech was very important. Seems like it was. Now, did we get any big words from him? Not really. I think that the markets are still waiting for ups and downs based on the inflation data coming along. The markets really want things to just be over and done with so that they can continue moving back up. But the reserve list, I mean, sorry, Reserve Bank, the Federal Reserve, and Reserve Bank of Australia, and a bunch of other reserve banks really don't want that. And they're doing a pretty tough job on the market. And normally the rule is don't fight the Fed, and the Fed's kind of saying we don't want things to keep going up. And a lot of governments are trying to cover up the recessions that they already are in by importing a large amount of people. Now, immigration is another topic that might have to cover another time because we're going to see this weird market where a lot of things are falling, but inflation is still very sticky, and it's because the governments kind of want it to be sticky. And I might have to be able to explain that by using a civilization idea, which is you don't really care how happy your civilization is as long as they're happier than zero. So productivity only drops if the civilization ever gets below zero. But if they have 100 happiness, it doesn't really change that much. There are some things that you can pick up in civilizations where the happier they are, they do different things. But in general, if you don't go for any of that specific stuff, then the amount of happiness that your civilization has only matters if they're just happy enough. Anyways, moving on to cards. What are we seeing? Well, also just a heads up, I've just recovered from a cold. I'm not 100% sure if that's why I haven't made any videos. I mean, I was feeling pretty off for the last 3 days, but I could feel something happening for the last five and a bit. So hopefully I'm on the road to recovery. Certainly feels like it. Anyways, as you can see, the market ever since 2304 30th this year, it has dropped by almost $1,000 of the revised edition set box. The entire set of revised edition has lost about $1,000 of value, or should I say around about 15%, 15 to 20%, because 20% would be $1,000 lost from $5,000, or $2,000 lost from $10,000. This is 6,000 to 5,000, so $1,000 lost from 65. So, somewhere between the 18%. That's a lot in a very short period of time. And are we going to keep seeing this? My answer is yes, until the people that went over their heads are out of the market. And when are they? Probably, to the best of my knowledge, out of the market? Probably anywhere between the $4,782 to probably the 4,000. So you got $1,000 range. So you're looking at, if the market doesn't stop in the next $400 drop, then this could be painful. And don't forget, I was kind of buying in at this point right here. The second that market started closing, and these cards are already being hard to find, but this didn't happen until what, January, February, and March of 2021. But yeah, I was looking at this kind of stuff in 2020, but even 2020, they plateaued pretty early. And then there was a big bump. Are we going to see more of the drops? Possibly. Possibly. Now let's have a look at alpha. I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy here. You know what? We're seeing pretty crazy stuff, actually. I take that back. 606,220, $606,220. Peak value, obviously, this is going to be traded very awkwardly, up down to 2,000, 200,000. Oh my God, what is that? That's almost a 80-70% drop. Really? It's 60 to 70% drop. So, someone in the comments, I know that I don't have many people commenting again. Is that right? That seems way more volatile than revised reserve list cards from revised. That's way more volatile. Like it's dropped by 60%, while we're looking at a very different drop. I think we're looking at probably about 40% overall, maybe more. No, no, yeah, about 40%, a bit less than 40% for the peak, the very peak of that of the revised editions to the alpha. So the alpha cards have dropped even more, and I'm not too sure how to confirm that. I've never held on to alpha cards. Um, Anyway, moving on. So I wanted to check out what's happening with some random cards, and then probably over the next couple of days, I'm going to do some spoiler reviews for Fallout and for Ikoria, because a lot of Ikoria cards have come out, and we'll see what they say. So first things first, Badlands, pretty much flatlining, and I actually think there's a lot of cards that are flatlining. This is the aggregate cards, obviously, so you're not going to see anything too crazy. Weirdly enough, Alfred, um, Badlands, it went from, I don't know, 6,000 to 5,000, but you can't trust this. TCG player has some for like 3,000. Bayou, they all seem to be on the way down. Revised edition now. This is interesting. The market's actually moving up. The average price is moving down. Why is that? Not sure. The best explanation I can give you is maybe some people are picking up the higher value mint condition of those cards. Revised Tiger, very aggressively falling down. I don't have Tiger. This could be a starting point to start looking at getting at least your hands on some Tiger. And don't get me wrong, I think this market is going to stay down for a while. So while now might be a good time if you have some cash on the side, remember cash can give you 5.5% in Australia, possibly by the end of this year, 5.75% if you're with ING. And I don't know about other places, but if you trade the right kind of commodities or other things, or buy the right things, you can make that money work for you more than these cards at this point. We're no longer in a fight the inflation crisis other than housing, which is a very different and difficult conversation. In general, it's very much forced down because of how much value you can get from your cash. And Rudy's not wrong about that. And yes, I have a lot of tabs, but I don't know if you guys can see that anyways. I'm just trying to figure out which one I clicking on now. So revised edition at Volcanic Island, moderately played, dropped precipitously. Can't even say the word, but it's dropping some more. And you can see even a lightly played 583, lightly played 583, near mint 672. Like people were paying $1,000 for these. Yeah, do not forget, I actually have my numbers written down. I'm pretty sure that near mint was $1,000 when I was looking at selling, but obviously I didn't because I was like, I got them for a quarter of the price, and I'm like, oh, I'll just hold on to it. But now I'm like, maybe I should have. But you never know, and not to mention that money was during a period of time where you never knew what was going to happen. And if they cut interest rates for any reason at all, and we're in a highly inflationary environment, things will go so bad that you don't want to hold on to a lot of cash. And it's really tricky to find that balance right now. Underground Sea Revised Edition, once again, flatlining or drooping. Underground Sea, lightly played, 629. Still, plenty of different options, 8 listings, but some of these have way more than 8 on them. So lightly played, 12 out of 1 out of 12. You got some very good options there. I was actually going to go and check out some other stuff as well, but I'll just probably have a very quick video today and see what I can cover off for the rest of the time. What are we in? 5, 8, 9 minutes. Truthfully, I don't want it to be too short because I'm trying to cover a few different things. But I also don't want to overstep myself and cover Fallout and Ikoria in one video because if I'm feeling better, then I would rather talk about that tomorrow when I'm not as sniffy. Okay, so we got Zaxara the Exemplary, legendary creature nightmare, Hydra, Death Touch. Add 2 mana to any one color. Whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, create a 0/0 green Hydra creature token with, and then put X +1/+1 counters on it. Nice. That is actually a pretty cool card. This is Unbound Flourishing. Whenever you cast a permanent with Mana cost that contains X, double the value of X. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery or activate an ability, if that spell's mana cost or that ability's activate cost contains X, copy that spell or ability. Ooh, damn, that's good. Primordial Hydra. Creature Hydra. Primordial Hydra enters the battlefield with X plus encounters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of plus encounters on Primordial Hydra. Primordial Hydra tramples as long as it has 10 or more plus encounters. Yep, once again, very powerful card. Hydroid Krasis, creature, jellyfish, Hydra beast. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain half X life and draw X cards. Draw down each time. Flying trample. Hydra Krasis. Enter the battlefield with X plus encounters on it. That's a really powerful card. I remember that. Gargos, Vicious Watcher, legendary creature Hydra, Vigilance. Hydra spells you cast cost 4 less to cast. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of spells, Gargos, Vicious Watcher fights up to one target creature you don't control. Pretty cool. 8/7 as well for 6 mana. Yeah, very good. And a Hydra token. So pretty impressive. Am I gonna get this? No, because secret layers are just such a pain. To get in Australia, you had to pay so much more. And not to mention that I haven't really bought much for Magic cards recently. They are doing a lot of stuff, like Doctor Who. I've heard that they're now talking about bringing Marvel in next year. The Fallout. They're doing a lot of the Beyond Universe stuff. And we're just going to see how that goes because I'm still not 100% sure. I'm not sold on it. And the market really doesn't seem to care too much either way. Anyways, guys, a bit of a rambling video, but hopefully we'll be able to get back on topic tomorrow or the next couple of weeks. And see you guys next time. Yeah.